Welcome to Kindle Buffet. I'm Steve Weber. In this course, we're going to learn how to unlock an amazing amount of value using your Kindle device. Here's a quick look at what we're going to cover. How to find and download the best free and discount Kindle books. We'll look at the Kindle's owner's lending library and the free Kindle books available from your public library. And we'll take a look at Kindle Unlimited and other subscription programs. You know, one of the best things about Amazon's digital bookstore is that many of its most popular Kindle books are offered completely free of charge during brief promotional periods, or sometimes they're available at big discounts, up to 90% off. And so if you manage to find one of these big bargains, you get to keep that book as long as you like. Even if you don't read it right now, you can archive it in your Kindle library. In the next section, we're going to take a look at a series of websites designed to help you locate free and discount Kindle books. Okay, here we are at Kindle Buffet. You know, I love downloading free books to my Kindle so much. I started this website, and it's a newsletter too, to keep track of all these special Kindle deals. I started this back in 2012. And the free promotions and the discounts, they only last a day or two. So there's a new crop on here every day. It's updated every morning. And if you take a look here, I'm sure you'll be amazed at the quality of the books that are available. You're going to wonder how you're ever going to have time to buy a Kindle book at the regular price. So if you look up here at the top, that's going to be my number one pick of the day. On top is the freebies, several of those. And then after you get down here, about midway through the page, you'll see the discounts. Here's a book that was $8.99 regularly, and now today it's $1.99. So what's the difference between Kindle Buffet and the other sites, the competing sites? Well, one big thing is that most other Kindle freebie and Kindle discount websites, they'll sell an advertisement here, right here at the top. What's the result of that? Well, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a crappy book that nobody wants to read. But the reason it's up at the top is that the author or the publisher paid $100 or $200 to have that book featured. On Kindle Buffet, all of the books on this list are there solely because of the merits of the book. I take a good look at the author's track record, what kind of following they have, the kind of reviews that particular book had, and I won't run the same deal more than once every 2 years. A lot of the other websites, you'll see the same books day after day. You can hardly find a new one. So Kindle Buffet, it's got 3 pages, updated every morning, page 1, page 2, and page 3 with freebies at the top, bargains further down. So you click on a book, you go straight to that Amazon detail page where you can download it right there, and it goes to any of your Kindle devices. Okay, here we are at the number 2 website, eReader IQ. And by the way, you might be curious, what's the draw? What's the logic of having free Kindle books in the first place? Well, if you're an author with a good book and you give away copies of that book, you're going to sell many more books, because that freebie is going to introduce you to a lot of readers who never would have found you. Same thing with discounts. And so if you're curious about that, it's great marketing. It's free samples. It's been around here for 100 years. So here we are at eReader IQ, and this is the polar opposite of Kindle Buffet. And what do I mean by that? Kindle Buffet is a hand-picked list. It's like top 40 radio. It's stuff that's going to appeal to a wide range of people. It's a hand-picked, specialized list. And this one, eReader IQ, is the exact opposite. It's a data dump. It's got every book there is, whether they have 1 star or 5 stars. And so you can filter this by discounts, price drops, books under $1, freebies. And then if you go down through the list of freebies, you can sort that by most recent freebies, which will turn up books in the last 1, 2, 3 days. Those with the best reviews, the most reviews, or the percentage of good reviews. And so why do I recommend eReader IQ? Well, if you're a fan of science fiction, bad science fiction perhaps, you'll find something on here that you won't find on Kindle Buffet. You might be able to find some erotica that you wouldn't find on Kindle Buffet, because I tend to feature mainstream books, nothing really hardcore, explicit erotica. I don't use that. You can find it here on eReader IQ. There's also a section for, in addition to the USA site, Canadian site, England site, and so it's got some tools over here, genre selection tools, tools to notify you when certain books reach a certain price. So this is a really good resource that you want to keep in mind. Welcome back. In this section, we're going to take a look at 3 hidden Amazon gold mines for Kindle deals. First, the Kindle bestseller lists, Kindle daily deals, and classic books on Kindle. Okay, for these links to Amazon, for your convenience, I've compiled a list of them here on Kindle Buffet. If you go over to the right side of the menu where it says links, click on that, and you'll have a convenient link to all of these URLs, which are really long. So I suggest that you click on over there from Kindle Buffet, and then if you decide that it's something useful for you, you can book that and bookmark that in your own browser. So let's take a look at the Kindle bestseller lists. When you first arrive at this page, by default, you're going to see the paid books, the books you have to pay money for. And these are the bestsellers in all categories. You can click to start with Kindle eBooks over here on the left, and then you'll see all the genres: arts and photographies, biographies, business, all of it, A to Z. And you can take a look at these bestsellers that people are buying. These are the same books that are being promoted in bookstores generally. So if you click over here on the right tab where it says Top 100 Free, these are the current bestsellers that are free promotions on Kindle right now. So this is a book I featured yesterday on Kindle Buffet, and it's up to the #1 bestseller in the free store. So this is a really handy list. The one downside of this is that it tends to be a lot of the same books day after day, week after week. If you've got a monster book, it's going to be on here for weeks, months, maybe even years until it gets knocked down out of the top 100, because that's what you've got here is 1 through 20 on the first page, 21 through 40, and you can go all the way down to number 100. So this is a good place to look if you want to explore the kind of books that don't make it onto Kindle Buffet or the other lists. And the nice thing about these bestseller lists is you're not even limited to Kindle books. You can go into, we started off in the Kindle store, but we can drill down into magazines, newspapers, the Kindle hardware, like the Kindle Fire TV, the Echo. Those are the best sellers in the hardware store right now. Click over here on any department and you can click on dead tree books, cameras, clothing, any category that Amazon sells. You can visit the bestseller list. Okay, back here at our list of links on Kindle Buffet, the next one up is Kindle Daily Deals. Now there's a lot going on this page. It's kind of confusing, but the main thing to keep in mind is this top row of books. Those are books that have been selected by Amazon staff to have a special price on this day. They update this 365 days a year. So if you click on one of these, you'll see the regular price $10.95 and today's price $3.99. And if you scroll down through this page, you'll see another kind of Kindle deal that they feature on this page, which is monthly deals. This monthly deals are a few hundred Kindle books that they have selected. If you scroll down to the right, you can see all the bestsellers in that category of deals. And some of these books, if they're popular enough, they'll show up on Kindle Buffet and the other websites. But today, the Kindle Daily Deal is 40 award-winning books for $3.99 or less. And here's a place to scroll through those rows. If you go down here, there will be a link on the left to put all of this stuff on one page. So this is a nice resource to check out. Okay, classic books on Kindle. So far our discussion has been limited to books, current books, those published within the last few years and available only through Amazon for a limited amount of time. But this is a whole new category of books we're going to look at right now. These are books that are available free on Amazon for an indefinite period. These are public domain books, and they include classics from authors like Shakespeare, Jane Austen, Jules Verne, Charles Dickens, Mark Twain, and many others whose copyright has expired years ago. So these works are available free on Amazon and a lot of other sites too. And so, as usual, if we click on one of these book covers, we'll go to the detail page on Amazon.com. We'll verify that it's still free, that the price has not changed. And if we want that book, we'll click on Buy Now with one click. And we can send it to one of our Kindle devices. Okay, welcome back. We've got 4 more sites here for Kindle deals. They're Bookbub, Free Kindle Books and Tips, Pixel of Ink, and Kindle Nation Daily. So here we are back at our lists of URLs on KindleBuffet.com. Click on the menu where it says links, and we'll go down and click through to Bookbub. Now, earlier I criticized sites for having advertising. And the reason that I gave was it's not always clear to the reader why a book is selected to be on a list. Sometimes it's only because the author has paid $100 or $200 to have that spot, and maybe it's a crappy book, and the only reason it's there is because they paid for the advertising. Well, Bookbub is the exception to the rule. They charge a lot of money to authors and publishers to have their books featured, and it's okay because they're really selective. They have a lot of demand from authors who want to get exposure here. And the reason is because Bookbub has a huge audience. And so it works out for the reader because it's so selective. The books on their list are really, really good. So let's go through the sign-up process here and see what it's like. And it's going to let me select the genres that I enjoy reading: crime fiction, cozy mysteries, thrillers. You can select all of these if you want to. And so you indicate which ones you want, save, indicate the country you're in. And here's another good thing about Bookbub. Not only the Kindle books you can get, but you can get the Nook books from Barnes & Noble, Apple iBooks, Google Play, Kobo. So you've not only got a big selection of books, but you've got a selection of stores. So let's go to our inbox, and that's where we get our content from Bookbub, not from the website, but we get an email, your ebook bargains for Tuesday. And here's their books. Great books, nice authors, and you're going to get a lot of enjoyment out of these books because they're really good. And I'd say the only downside about Bookbub is that they're so selective that on any given day, you're only going to get 15 or 20 books in your inbox. Other sites, they might have hundreds of books that you can pick through. But Bookbub is just a few diamonds in the rough that you're going to get. You might be able to find something you want to read. So let's go back to our list of URLs. Free Kindle books and tips. Here's a good site that has some good book picks and some other content like how to use your Kindle Fire, how to use your Kindle Voyage. So this is a good site to check out. Every day it's updated with new content. You can also sign up for their email too. And here's another good site, Pixel of Ink. You're going to find different books on here. You're going to see freebies and bargains. You're going to find books that are under $1, under $3. Good site to check out. Kindle Nation Daily. A lot of features on this site. Freebies, special books of the day, a lot of content. And you can link to current freebies and nonfiction and fiction. All of your genres are broken out there. So Kindle Nation Daily, another good site to check out. Welcome back. Now, if you're not familiar with Amazon Prime, you should check that out. Go to Amazon, search for Prime, and it's going to explain the benefits to you. It's free shipping on certain orders. It's free music, videos, and one of the bennies is a free book every month from the Kindle Owner's Lending Library. And I'm going to show you how to get that on your Kindle. I've got a screenshot here of a Kindle Voyage. Looks just like a Paperwhite. And it's a similar process no matter what kind of Kindle you have. There's no due date from the Kindle lending library. If you want to return a book to get a new one, you just return it via the website. Now, if you have a Kindle Fire, you might have to swipe from the left to get to this screen, but you want to go to the Kindle store and select all categories, then select Kindle Owner's Lending Library. And the eligible titles, once you click down into a certain genre, the ones that are eligible for borrowing, they will have the Prime badge beside the title of the book. You just click there. You can download it to the device you're using. You can transfer it to another Kindle registered to your account. And then to return a book, you just go to the Manage Your Content and Devices page. That's the web interface for your Kindle content. And you select your content, select Actions, and then select Return this book. And that's it. Okay, let's take a look at Kindle Unlimited, which is a relatively new program at Amazon. It lets you read as many books as you wish from a library of over 1 million titles, and about 2,000 of these books also have a free audiobook edition. Amazon offers you a 30-day trial membership to Kindle Unlimited, enabling you to test drive the service for a month. You can sign up at the Kindle Unlimited page, and here's a shortcut to it: bit.ly/k-unlimited, and that's case sensitive. Use the capital letters as I show them here. So your subscription to Kindle Unlimited will be automatically upgraded to a paid subscription unless you cancel before the end of that 30-day trial. So don't forget about that. Now, at first blush, you would think Kindle Unlimited is a no-brainer, right? $9.99 a month to read all the books you want. In what universe is that not a great idea, right? Well, yeah, there is a lot to like about Kindle Unlimited, but there are some downsides. You can spend more time reading and less time shopping, for one thing. I used to obsess over buying just the right book because I didn't want to get stuck with a book I didn't like. So I'd end up spending lots of time researching book reviews and scouting competing books before I ever actually broke down and spent my money to buy one. And in some cases, I probably spent more time shopping for the book than I actually spent reading it. So why did I go through all that rigmarole? My pet peeve was getting stuck with a book I didn't like and having all that wasted time and money. So I invested all this time shopping to avoid the duds. Well, Kindle Unlimited can alleviate those chores. As soon as you get a whiff of a potential book, you download it, start reading. If you don't like it, you just quit. You quit on the first page, you quit the second chapter. No angst, no wasted money, no wasted time, not very much. Books aren't the only thing that picky people like me agonize over. I used to spend a lot of hours prowling the aisles back in the videotape days at Blockbuster. Remember that? I was doing much the same thing, searching for a decent movie amid all the junk. And I would waste gobs of time researching a potential movie rental because I just couldn't bear getting home and discovering I'd rented a bomb. But, it still happened. So enter Netflix. Now you don't even need to leave your easy chair in your living room. You just skim the list of videos they have, pick one, start watching. And sure, most of the stuff in Netflix is garbage, but if you accidentally start watching a dud, it's not the end of the world. You just move on to the next movie. Kind of like Kindle Unlimited, right? Unfortunately, Kindle Unlimited and Netflix are more alike than you might think. Most Kindle Unlimited books are junk too. Kindle Unlimited does not include all of Amazon's book catalog, not even close. In fact, most of Kindle Unlimited's lineup is self-published fiction from authors you've never heard of, including many books that never should have seen the light of day. But there are some golden nuggets in there. So yes, Kindle Unlimited can do two big things for you: cutting the time you spend finding new reading material, and secondly, cutting the price that you have to pay for those books. It just depends on how voracious a reader you are and how picky you are. Okay, well, let's try to figure out if Kindle Unlimited is going to work out for you. It appeals mostly to avid readers, obviously, no surprise there. But what about you? At first glance, you'd think that Kindle Unlimited is easily worth the money because it's just $9.99 a month. And even if you're a slow reader like me, you can probably polish off 2 or 3 books a month without breaking a sweat, right? Perhaps your free supply of reading material will also up your game and get you to read more. Unfortunately, it's not really that simple. 2 major problems with Kindle Unlimited. First, it's harder than you would expect to find Kindle Unlimited books that are eligible for the program. There's no dedicated store or recommendation engine within Amazon dedicated to Kindle Unlimited books. And secondly, Kindle Unlimited selection is really weak. It includes very, very few books by famous authors. But let's say you're patient enough to unearth some Kindle Unlimited books that you want. How many does it take for you to get your money's worth? Well, let's look at the numbers. First, consider the annual cost of Kindle Unlimited, about $120 a year. And let's say that the average cost of a Kindle book is about $6, right? You'll need to read about 20 books during the year to make back your investment. So, the average American reads 5 books per year, according to a recent poll. But let's assume that you're a voracious reader and you're knocking out 20 books a year. No problem. The question is, can you find enough Kindle Unlimited books that interest you? Okay, so here's a quick experiment. Run through the list of books that you've purchased over the past year. And if you want to get access to a quick list of your Kindle purchases, visit this URL, bit.ly/Kindle orders. And again, that's case sensitive. Make sure to include the capital letters like you see them here. This will take you to your Amazon account page where you'll see the Kindle purchases. Now, determine how many of those books that you bought are Kindle Unlimited eligible. Probably not too many. Personally, I bought 27 Kindle books during 2014, and just 4 of those books turned out to be eligible for Kindle Unlimited. Okay, here's another way to evaluate Kindle Unlimited. Instead of looking at your previous purchases of Kindle books, consider your Amazon wish list, if you have one, or your Goodreads.com want to read list. How many of those books are in Kindle Unlimited? Probably not very many. So why is the selection in Kindle Unlimited so weak? Well, quite simply, leading authors aren't in the program because it doesn't pay them enough. Danielle Steele? Nope. Nora Roberts? Nope. Robert Ludlum? James Patterson, John Grisham, Dan Brown, Ken Follett, Stephanie Meyer, Mary Higgins Clark, Patricia Cornwell, Tom Clancy, Janet Ivanovich, or Dr. Seuss? No, they're not in there. And this leads to another complication. Most of those no-name books in Kindle Unlimited are already priced low, $3 and under. So you'd have to read at least 40 books a year to make Kindle Unlimited pay off, not the 20 books that we had assumed earlier. Hey, we're going to talk about the Kindle's best kept secret, and that is free loans from your public library. The advent of ebooks was supposed to put the old-fashioned public library out of business, according to many people. But somebody forgot to tell the libraries this, and meanwhile, they've been building digital collections for their customers who enjoy Kindle books and other content. Okay, go to this website, overdrive.com. It's an ebook service affiliated with almost every public library in the United States. It enables them to loan Kindle books and audiobooks and other sorts of books. That's right, at most libraries nowadays, you can borrow Kindle books at no charge without even leaving the house. The best part, the collection of Kindle books available at most libraries includes the bestsellers and classics from your favorite authors, precisely those books that are missing from Kindle Unlimited. So signing up for Overdrive is easy. First, you download the app, and that can go on your Android phone, your iPhone, or you can work on the website through your computer. You enter your library branch and your library card number. And this is a service you're already subsidizing with your tax dollars, so there's no reason not to give this a test drive. And here's a variation of an experiment we discussed earlier in the section about Kindle Unlimited. Go through a list of the books that you have bought over the past year. How many of them are available as Kindle loans from your library? Probably a lot more than you might expect. The selection of Kindle books varies from library to library. Those libraries in high population areas tend to have a better selection. But many rural libraries have a nice collection too. And you're not necessarily limited to local library branches. In most states, you can obtain a library card outside of your immediate residence area at no extra charge. Also, several urban libraries will issue cards to out-of-state residents, although sometimes they charge an annual fee. For example, the Brooklyn Public Library in New York, they have an excellent selection of Kindle books, and they issue cards through the mail to any U.S. resident who pays an annual $50 fee. For a list of such libraries, consult this page, bit.ly/ebookloans. And that address is case sensitive, so use the capital letters as you see them here. If you've tried checking out ebooks from the library in the past and have been disappointed, especially in the selection of Kindle books, you should definitely try again now. Libraries have beefed up their digital selections tremendously in the past couple of years. Who knows, after you exhaust all the available Kindle books at your local library, you might not have any time left to buy any books. I recently checked to see which of the top 10 books on the New York Times bestseller list were available through Kindle Unlimited. Not a single one was there. But all 10 of those bestsellers were available as a Kindle loan through my local library. And of those 10 bestsellers, 9 were also available as an audiobook download from my library. Buying those audiobooks from Amazon would have cost me $218, and that's whether I had a Kindle Unlimited subscription or not. But perhaps you don't read bestsellers. Perhaps you prefer a steady diet of something more specific, like military science fiction pulp novels. Maybe you're into erotica. In that case, you'll likely find a steady diet of such fare on Kindle Unlimited. In some ways, your library's Overdrive service and Kindle Unlimited are complementary. Overdrive tends to provide access to popular, mainstream books by famous authors, the ones that librarians know will be in demand with a high percentage of their customers. Meanwhile, Kindle Unlimited includes books that simply aren't available to any libraries, including quirky, innovative books from up-and-coming authors who you may not have heard of yet. Although you don't need to physically visit your library to borrow Kindle books via Overdrive, you might have to wait in line, a virtual line, for popular books. Libraries only have a certain number of licenses for each title, so if all the available copies are checked out, you'll need to place a hold on the book just as you would for a hardcover book. Okay, now we're going to learn about how to get free newspapers and magazines for your Kindle. This is just an awesome capability for people like me, especially. I'm a news junkie. And, several years ago, I paid more than $100 a month to subscribe to various newspapers and magazines. And now getting that content is free thanks to this wonderful software program called Calibre. Calibre is an open source program, and that means it's developed by volunteer programmers. And it can download content from newspapers and magazines from all over the world and deliver it to your Kindle. Now, Calibre is a program that runs on your PC or your Mac or your laptop. It runs there on your machine, it goes out on the internet, gets that content that you ask for from various publishers' websites, and then Calibre converts that content into the Kindle format and sends it to your Kindle device. So Calibre gets this content from the publisher's websites, so not all of it is free. For example, a few years ago, I was able to get the New York Times and the Washington Post for free using Calibre, every section and every article in each daily edition. But now those newspapers and a few others charge money for their content. So if you're a paying subscriber to one of those publications with restricted content, you'll be able to plug in your username and password into Calibre. Otherwise, you'll be limited to some sample articles. Okay, so let's see how this works. We download the program to our machine from the website, agree to the agreement, and then when you launch Calibre for the first time, you'll come up to the Calibre Welcome Wizard. And every time you get some new content, it'll be stored in this default location here, shown here. And that works just fine, but if you want to change the name of the directory or the location, you can do that. Okay, the next step is to tell Calibre what kind of device we have, whether it's a Kindle Paperwhite, a Kindle Fire, or some other kind of tablet like an iPad. Okay, now let's go get some content. We do that by going up to the top row of buttons here and selecting Fetch News, which shows you more than 900 news sources. And we'll click on the English language here to narrow down those choices to about 300 periodicals we have available. And as a demonstration, we're going to download the Economist magazine here. And as you can see, we can select the day of week that we want this download to happen. We can even specify the time of day. So once you get Calibre set up and running, all your preferences set, you can just have it running continuously in the background, and it'll automatically go out and get all this content for you. So the downloading process takes a while, several minutes for each publication. And then when that's finished, we're going to transfer that content from the Calibre library on our computer onto our Kindle. So after the downloads, we see the Economist at the top of our library. We can click there on that publication, and we can view it on our computer if we want. On the left, there's the table of contents. We can browse through. Okay, and now for transferring the publication to our Kindle, we put our mouse on the name of the publication and we just drag and drop that onto our Kindle device, pictured here at the top. And there's actually another way to do this. If you find out that you really like Calibre, you can input the email address for your Kindle and have it wirelessly sent instead of having to plug your Kindle device into your computer with a USB cord. So if you need to get the Kindle email address, go to the Kindle content page on Amazon's website, and you can get that address. So we see here that we have several items converted and sent to our Kindle. And believe it or not, we've only just scratched the surface of what you can do with Calibre. For example, some of the other functions are we can go get all kinds of other documents, ebooks, and every conceivable format. And Calibre can manage those files, convert them into the Kindle format automatically for us, and send them to our Kindle. So if you want to find out more about that, just check out the documentation that comes with Calibre. Okay, let's take a look at a wonderful little software program that Amazon provides called Send to Kindle. So we're back here at the home page of Kindle Buffet. We click on the right side of the menu where it says links, and we scroll down here to the tools section and click on Send to Kindle. And we will arrive at Amazon's help page, which provides an explanation of all the different variations of this. The one we'll demonstrate right now is Send to Kindle for PC. So we click through to there where we can download the software. We can see that the publisher is Amazon Services, so it's a safe program. We'll run that. And we've got it installed. So I'm going to take a look at a PDF document on my computer, and this would work for a Microsoft Word document or practically anything, any kind of a document. Right click on there, and I'll see in my menu Send to Kindle. Click on that. It's going to give me the title of that document, the author, and it's going to give me a choice of how to deliver it. Wi-Fi is usually a good choice. And I can select which of my Kindles I want it to be delivered to. And Amazon will also archive that for me. So I select Send, and it's done. It'll be on my Kindle as soon as I wake it up. So another way to do this, instead of the right click, is to open that document, select File, and Print. And in the Print menu, Print dialog box, we want to select not our printer, but Send to Kindle. And then when we click OK, same result. It's sending it to one of our Kindles. And there's some other variations of the Send to Kindle application. For example, let's say I'm at the New York Times and I see an interesting story over here. This little browser button here, Send to Kindle. Click that. It's asking me to sign into my Amazon account. It's ensuring what part of that web page it wants me to send. And that'll take care of it. Really convenient way to share content with your Kindle. As you can see, it cleaned up that web page for me, got rid of the advertisements, and it's neatly presenting those photographs that were on the page. So Send to Kindle is available for PCs, Macs, all kinds of browsers, Android devices. If you have a lot of work documents you might want to send to your Kindle, Very convenient application.